As I'm sure you're all aware, we have Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder III on Saturday. So the obvious question is, who's going to win? It's an obvious question. I don't think it has an obvious answer. The logical assumption, I suppose, is that Fury should win because he smashed up Wilder in the second fight, entirely dominated him. Like many others, I thought Fury won the first fight despite being floored twice. And when you consider it, Fury's 6'9", roughly 265, 260, 270 pounds in natural weight, fighting weight. Wilder is a couple of inches shorter, but he's 50 pounds less. He's, Bridger weight material, if anyone wants to be Bridger weight material. So when you utilise those advantages that Fury has, but logic says he's going to win. However, I think this great long gap between fights 2 and 3 is going to should work in favour of Wilder, because it's given him a chance to mend his shattered ego and his, whether he admits it or not, his shredded confidence and all that other stuff. Had they fought 6 months after the second fight, I would have picked Fury at a canter. But now that we've got, is it 18 months, 2 years, however long it is, this COVID thing makes everything seem like one long month, you know what I mean? But however long it is, it's given Wilder, if he's capable, a chance to embrace new ideas, work on his technique, sharpen up his tools, but more importantly, mentally, psychologically repair himself. Now, there's an awful lot of rubbish comes out of both guys' mouths. Fury talks anything from absolute insightful, intelligent common sense to absolute drivel, and Wilder talks absolute drivel. But if you believe in something, even if it is the most nonsensical thing, if you truly, passionately believe it as a cause, that can work to your advantage psychologically. And let's just play devil's advocate and say that Wilder does believe all this nonsense that he spouts. That makes him a dangerous man, because frequently we see people who believe all sorts of rubbish, everything from religious fundamentalists to lunatic conspiracy theorists to politicians that think they're better than us. I'm not going to get into any other subject, but you know what I mean. If you really genuinely believe it, then you can achieve a lot, because that's good motivation, and self-belief is a hell of a thing. As we know, self-belief, even if it's based on rubbish, it's a major part of life. I always remember, I'm quite old, so I go back to the end of Muhammad Ali's career. And I remember that's when I kind of got interested in boxing. The first fight I ever saw was the third Muhammad Ali-Ken Norton fight. So I really got into Ali, and I remember watching loads and loads of videos back in the old days. You used to get them on VHS tapes if you were lucky. And he was interviewed, and he said something along the lines of, I said I was the greatest, but I didn't believe it. I just became the greatest. He almost willed himself into being. It's, what Leni Riefenstahl called a triumph of the will. We won't go there. But, yeah. So I think Wilder, if he believes all this crud, it'll work to his advantage. And if Fury is not on his A game, which he needs to be mentally and physically, he could come a cropper, theoretically. He could underrate Wilder. He's someone who rises to the challenge and tends to fight down to the level of his opposition, or what he perceives to be the level of his opposition. So it's feasible that he might overlook Wilder or not take him as seriously as he should. I'm still going to pick Fury to win. I don't think it will be a 2 or 3 rounder, which some people, the Fury fans, which tend to be a little bit, they tend to be a little bit out there, but they're saying, it's a walk in the park. I don't think so. I think my prediction, and I'm probably wrong because a lot of my predictions are wrong, I think Fury will stop Wilder in 10 rounds. There's no quitting Wilder. He's a gutsy guy. Proved that in the second fight. He's a genuine fighting man. But I just think Fury, with the size and his excellent technique, and for such a huge man, his technique is very, very good. And I just think he's going to win this. 10 rounds for Tyson Fury stoppage. Dare anyone throw the towel in with Deontay Wilder? He won't be Malik Scott, believe me. But I'm interested in this fight. A lot of people said, "Oh, the third fight's we don't need that." That was my initial reaction. But no, I've gotten interested in this fight here. So I think we're going to see, the Tyson Fury victory. And what price? Fury versus Usyk. That would be interesting. That would really be interesting, because it would show us, does size really matter? I always say to the ladies, size doesn't matter. That's another story. But I think in boxing it probably does. Anyway, it's Joe Stunner Boxing. Please subscribe. Leave all your comments below. Much love to you. And let's enjoy fight night, yeah? Peace.